We call it America's pastime, but are baseball's best days a thing of the past? Well, it all starts at the youth level, and Toby Motika is here with a look.
Jenny, when I was growing up, me, my friends, their friends, we all played baseball. But in the early 2000s, there was a huge dip in youth baseball participation, so much so that some were calling it the death of the sport. But what about today? And what about in Rochester? We take a look at the so-called death and possible rebirth of baseball.
I still remember it as America's game, and it's certainly my favorite sport.
But baseball's time as America's most popular sport seems to have passed.
I think there's definitely less kids, in my opinion, playing baseball than there was, let's say, when I was growing up.
Sutherland varsity manager Jim Capellupo says you don't have to look far to see the reasons why.
I think that's the number one sport that we're losing athletes to, and there's also, unfortunately, a lot of specialization where kids are playing soccer year-round and other sports, AAU basketball.
Assistant Administrator to District 4 Little League Tom Belluco says he sees the exact same thing.
There's a lot more options for kids now. There's different sports.
League administrators in the city see an entirely different problem.
The kids have always been here. It was more just the opportunity that coaches and the adults in the area were providing for them.
So it sounds like baseball is dying, but what it looks like is something completely different.
What you're seeing today, again, is a result of a lot of work from a lot of people and people coming back to baseball.
Take the city of Rochester, for example. Once the adults got back on board,
the different baseball leagues have come together and said, you know, we have a mission here. Let's get more kids playing baseball.
The kids came running back.
We see kids, you know, coming up. We'll be practicing, and kids will come from the playgrounds, and they're kind of checking it out and seeing, you know, can I play? Can I play?
And now across all three city leagues, including Southside, you're seeing the results.
In 2009, I believe there were 4 teams. And so each year we've added a few more teams, including softball. So now this year we're fielding 15 teams.
In suburban Rochester, a sport-wide rule change helped spark the fire.
Other youth sports have been doing travel divisions for many years, and Little League really didn't have that option. So about 3 or 4 years ago, they allowed us to do that.
And now Belluco says they can offer something for everyone.
For kids who are just there to have fun and hang out with their friends, they can play in a house league and they can have fun. For families and for kids who are looking for a little bit more competitive level of baseball, now we're able to offer that.
But as kids get older, they'll have to make a decision on what sports they continue to play. That decision is often made right around the modified level. But if you were expecting a big dip in participation, it's not happening at Greece Arcadia.
We had 40 guys try out for baseball, which is difficult. I had enough for 2 teams, and I had to get rid of a whole entire team.
Churchville Chi-Li manager Brian Lang came to this area from Lindenville, New York.
We didn't even have lacrosse out there, so we just had baseball and track. Those were the only options, and baseball was a thriving sport out there.
He was happy to see the exact same thing at Churchville, despite the strong presence of lacrosse.
We had huge numbers for our tryouts, and I expect that we'll have that year after year.
Those who want to take their game to the next level might go see Matt Dreyer, former professional baseball player and owner of Diamond Pro Athletics.
We are a specialized baseball facility that's open 12 months out of the year.
He's worked with plenty of young ball players from Rochester, players like Cito Culver, Chris Bostic, and Grant Heyman, all MLB draft picks.
Cito Culver across the diamond.
With the success that certain individuals have had in Rochester moving on in their baseball careers has given a lot of hope to a lot of young kids that Rochester, New York is a baseball town.
But none of this will matter in the long run if the kids aren't having fun.
My dad taught me to play it since I was 1.
That's awesome. So do you still like it as much as you did, or do you like it even more?
I love it even more. Baseball is just a really fun sport because there's a lot of action.
When I was 6, I started playing t-ball, and I don't remember why. I just got into it, and I started loving it.
Oh, you're like, yeah, flip the bat, take a nice little home run, trot around the bases. It feels great.
There really is nothing like hitting a home run, but let's be clear here. Baseball is not back where it was during its peak years of popularity. There are still towns and schools that have less turnout than others, but clearly reports of its demise were at least a little over-exaggerated,